Have you ever felt lost in the chaos of life? Maybe it's a moment when you found yourself standing in a crowded room, yet feeling completely alone. Or perhaps you faced challenges that left you feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about your path. Many people grapple with these emotions daily, a desire for connection, purpose, and meaning. In the midst of our struggles, we often look for something to guide us, something that reassures us we're not alone. It's precisely in moments like these we can turn to the words of Jesus when he said, "You are the salt of the earth." But what does that even mean? Let's take a step back to understand why Jesus used the metaphor of salt. During biblical times, salt wasn't just a flavor enhancer, it was incredibly valuable. It preserved food from spoiling, kept things fresh, and added flavor to even the simplest meals. In this way, salt represented both preservation and enhancement, two critical roles that would shape lives. When Jesus called us the salt of the earth, he was entrusting us with a mission, to preserve goodness and truth in a world that can often feel harsh and unkind. Think about it, just like salt prevents meat from rotting, our actions and love can protect the purity and kindness in the world around us. We have the power to stand up against negativity and despair, offering hope instead. Furthermore, being salt means we have an opportunity to add flavor to life. Just as a sprinkle of salt brings out the rich tastes in a meal, our kindness, love, and compassion can enhance the lives of those around us. A simple smile or helping hand can brighten someone's day and help them see that there's still goodness in this world. Yet, there's a caution here. Jesus warned about losing our flavor. If salt becomes bland, it loses its purpose. Similarly, if we forget our calling to bring light and healing into our communities, we risk losing our way too. So today, I invite you to reflect on your own journey. How can you be the salt of the earth? What small acts can you incorporate into your daily life? Every positive change or kind gesture makes a difference. Embrace your role, let's bring seasoning back into our world together. As we dig deeper into the meaning behind Jesus' words, let's take a moment to understand the context in which he spoke them. Jesus delivered the powerful phrase, "You are the salt of the earth," during his well-known Sermon on the Mount, a collection of teachings that outline his vision for how we should live. Imagine yourself on a hillside, surrounded by eager listeners who are hungry for hope and guidance. They come from diverse backgrounds, some are fishermen, some are farmers, and others are struggling to make ends meet. They feel the weight of their daily lives pressing down on them, much like many of us do today. Jesus recognizes their struggles and speaks to them in a way that is both practical and profound. When he declares that we are the salt of the earth, he's not just sharing an interesting metaphor. He's calling his followers to a higher purpose. To fully grasp this teaching, we must appreciate the role salt plays in life. In biblical times, salt was crucial, not only for flavoring food but for preserving it as well. With no refrigerators or modern methods of preservation available, people relied on salt to keep their food fresh and safe to eat. By choosing salt as a metaphor, Jesus emphasizes the importance of our role in the world. Just as salt prevents decay, we, too, can help preserve values like love, integrity, and compassion in our communities. In essence, being salt isn't merely about enhancing flavor, it signifies our responsibility to uphold goodness and truth in a world filled with challenges. But what does it actually mean for us today? Think about your daily interactions, your family, friends, co-workers, and even strangers. When you show kindness or offer support, you're acting as salt in their lives. Your positivity can uplift those around you and counteract negativity. As we contemplate this powerful message from Jesus, let's remember that he entrusted us with this calling not as a burden but as an opportunity. So when you face your own trials, moments of doubt or confusion, reflect on how you can be a force for good. How can you bring flavor into the lives of others? Each small act counts toward fostering hope and positivity in our world. As we explore further, let's keep these ideas in mind. The call to preserve and enhance life is not just a challenge, it's an invitation to create lasting change. Together, we can truly be the salt of the earth. As we continue to explore what it means to be the salt of the earth, let's take a moment to understand just how valuable salt was in biblical times. Back then, salt wasn't just a seasoning, it was a vital part of daily life that served multiple important purposes. Imagine living in a time without refrigeration or modern preservation techniques. Food would spoil quickly, especially in warm climates. People relied on salt to preserve their food and keep it safe to eat. Salt acted as a barrier against decay, extending the life of meat, fish, and even vegetables. When Jesus called his followers the salt of the earth, he tapped into this essential understanding. In doing so, he highlighted our ability to prevent moral decay in our communities and uphold important values. But salt was not only a preserver, it was also a flavor enhancer. Picture a simple meal, perhaps some bread or fish. A sprinkle of salt would transform that meal, bringing out rich flavors and making it more enjoyable. Just like that pinch of salt, our kindness and compassion can make life more flavorful for those around us. This dual role of salt, preserving and enhancing, is what makes Jesus' metaphor so powerful. Furthermore, in ancient cultures, salt was often associated with covenants and promises. When people shared meals seasoned with salt, it symbolized loyalty and commitment, an unbreakable bond between friends or allies. By referring to us as the salt of the earth, Jesus invites us into a deep relationship with one another, reminding us of our commitment to support and uplift each other. Now, let's reflect on how these historical roles of salt apply to our lives today. In a world that can often feel overwhelming or negative, think about your own interactions. How can you preserve goodness in your community? Perhaps by standing up for someone who's being treated poorly or by sharing encouraging words with a friend in need. Also, consider how you can add flavor to the lives of those around you. Small acts of kindness, like lending a listening ear or offering help, can transform mundane moments into extraordinary ones. Through these actions, we embody what it truly means to be the salt of the earth. As we wrap up this segment, remember that our role is not just about preserving, it's about enhancing the world around us. Together, we can spread positivity and love, fulfilling Jesus' message in our everyday lives. So let's embrace this calling wholeheartedly. It can change everything. As we delve further into the richness of being the salt of the earth, it's vital to understand how salt serves as a preserver in a world where decay and negativity can easily take hold. Just as salt prevents food from spoiling, Christians are called to preserve goodness and truth in our communities, acting as guardians against moral decline. Imagine for a moment a bustling marketplace in biblical times. Vendors showcase vibrant fruits and freshly caught fish, but without salt, much of that food would quickly spoil. The preservation provided by salt keeps things fresh and safe for families to enjoy. Similarly, our roles as believers involve safeguarding the values that nurture our communities and maintain harmony. When Jesus referred to us as the salt of the earth, he entrusted us with a mission to stand against indifference, injustice, and negativity. It's all too easy to be swept away by the chaos and apathy of the world around us. But just like salt imbues food with life-sustaining qualities, we have the power to infuse our surroundings with love, hope, and integrity. Let's think about what this means in practical terms. In our everyday lives, at home, school, or work, there are opportunities everywhere to act as preservers. When you see someone struggling with loneliness or doubt, you can step in with kindness or encouragement. By listening without judgment or offering a helping hand, you become a source of healing. Moreover, standing up for truth is another way we can preserve goodness. Whether it's advocating for fairness at school or speaking out against gossip among friends, our voices can uphold integrity. Each act creates ripples within our community that foster unity and understanding. Now consider this: what happens when salt loses its flavor? It becomes worthless, it fails to perform its essential function. The same applies to us. If we forget our calling to promote goodness and light in the world, we risk becoming ineffective and disconnected from our purpose. So how can we remind ourselves each day of this crucial role? Start small, focus on one person you can uplift today or one truth you can champion in your community. Remember that every act of preservation counts, no matter how small, and collectively they create a wave of positive change. As we embrace this calling, let us strengthen one another in our mission as the salt of the earth. Together, we can overcome negativity and create a world that thrives on goodness and hope. As we explore the idea of being the salt of the earth, let's shift our focus to another essential role of salt: its ability to enhance flavor. Imagine sitting down to a meal that's bland, a simple piece of bread or unseasoned fish. It may fill your stomach, but it lacks excitement. Now, picture that same meal with just a sprinkle of salt. Suddenly, it bursts with flavor and becomes enjoyable. This simple transformation mirrors how we, as believers, can add joy, kindness, and love to our everyday interactions. Think about the people you encounter daily: family members, friends, co-workers, or even strangers on the street. Many of them carry burdens you may not see, a heavy heart, stress from work, or loneliness. Just as salt brings out the best in food, you have the power to bring out the best in those around you through small acts of kindness. A warm smile, a genuine compliment, or a listening ear can brighten someone's day and remind them that they matter. When Jesus called us the salt of the earth, he was inviting us to be agents of positivity in a world that can often feel dark. Our words and actions have the potential to uplift and inspire others, much like how a little bit of salt makes a meal not only more palatable but truly delightful. Imagine a friend who is going through a tough time. They might feel isolated and overwhelmed. A text message checking in on them or an invitation for coffee can be that sprinkle of salt they need to feel seen and valued. These moments are opportunities to enhance their lives, just as seasoning enhances our food. Moreover, let's not forget that being the salt also means bringing joy into our environments. Whether it's sharing laughter during team meetings at work or creating a warm atmosphere at home, your presence can make a difference. Just like seasoned food encourages gathering around the table, our kindness encourages connections among people. As we reflect on this message from Jesus, let's challenge ourselves: how can we add flavor to our interactions today? What simple gesture can you offer that might transform someone's day? Each act of kindness creates ripples that extend far beyond the moment. So let us embrace our role as the salt of the earth, committing ourselves to infuse our communities with joy and love. Together, we can make the world not just bearable but truly enjoyable for everyone we encounter. Let's flavor life with our kindness and compassion. As we reflect on the powerful metaphor of being the salt of the earth, it's essential to recognize that this call comes with a responsibility, a call to action. Jesus didn't just want us to understand what it means to be salt, he wanted us to actively participate in making the world a better place through our positive actions and attitudes. Imagine walking through your neighborhood, where you see people going about their daily lives. Some walk with smiles on their faces, while others seem weighed down by burdens. Each person you pass has a story, a challenge, or a silent struggle. In those moments, we have the chance to make a difference. We can choose to be the salt that preserves joy and brings flavor to their lives. Being the salt means stepping outside of our comfort zones. It involves looking for opportunities to lift someone's spirits or lend a helping hand. Picture this: you overhear a coworker discussing their struggles with anxiety about an upcoming project. Instead of simply nodding along or turning away, you take a moment to reach out, offering encouragement or even just being there to listen. Small gestures like this can transform someone's day and remind them they are not alone. Jesus' message is clear: we are meant to be active participants in spreading love and positivity. It's not enough to simply hold these values within ourselves, they need to be shared. Just as salt enhances food, our words and actions must enhance the lives of others. A simple compliment or a genuine smile can uplift those who feel unseen. Think about how your own challenges and experiences can equip you to be an agent of change. Your journey, whether marked by triumphs or trials, can empower you to reach out and connect with others in meaningful ways. Each interaction is an opportunity to preserve goodness and promote understanding. Now, let's consider what holds us back from taking action. Fear. Uncertainty. Sometimes, it can be daunting to break the silence and reach out. But remember, every moment you hold back from sharing kindness is a missed opportunity to fulfill your role as the salt of the earth. So, I encourage you today, be intentional about your interactions. Look for ways to add flavor wherever you go, whether through simple acts of kindness or passionate support for those in need. Together, let's commit ourselves not just to recognizing our calling but actively living it out. As we close this segment, let's embrace Jesus' purpose for us as his followers. By becoming agents of positivity and connection, we can truly flavor our communities with love and hope. The world needs us now more than ever, let's rise to the occasion. As we continue to explore the message of being the salt of the earth, it's powerful to see this concept in action through real-life examples. These stories illustrate how individuals and communities embody Jesus' teachings by spreading kindness and helping one another, showcasing the tangible impact of being salt. Let's start with a heartwarming story from a small town where a local bakery faced financial difficulties. The owner, Mrs. Thompson, had dedicated her life to making delicious treats that brought joy to everyone in the community. However, as times got tough, many customers stopped coming in regularly. Instead of giving up, the people in the town rallied together. They organized a "Support Your Local Bakery" day, encouraging everyone to buy a pastry or two. That day, Mrs. Thompson received an outpouring of love. Customers lined up around the block. They didn't just buy pastries, they shared stories, laughter, and encouragement with her. This act of kindness preserved not just Mrs. Thompson's bakery but also strengthened the bonds within the community. It was a beautiful reminder that we can lift each other up during challenging times. Now, let me share another story about a high school student named Jamal who noticed a classmate, Sarah, often sitting alone at lunch. Knowing how isolating that can feel, he decided to invite her to join him and his friends instead. Soon after, Jamal learned that Sarah was dealing with personal struggles that made her feel invisible at school. By extending simple kindness and inviting her into his circle, he helped her feel valued and seen. Jamal's actions didn't just change Sarah's experience at school, they also inspired other students to reach out and connect with classmates who might be feeling left out. This ripple effect shows us how small acts can create significant transformations, just like salt enhances food. Finally, consider the global efforts to combat hunger and poverty led by various organizations. For example, groups like Feeding America mobilize communities to provide meals for those in need. Volunteers come together to pack food supplies for families struggling to put meals on the table. By serving others in this way, they embody the essence of what it means to be the salt of the earth, preserving dignity and hope. These stories remind us that being salt is not an abstract idea, it's lived out every day in simple yet powerful ways. Whether it's supporting local businesses, reaching out to classmates, or helping those in need globally, we have countless opportunities to make a difference. As you reflect on these examples, think about how you can become salt in your own community. Every small act counts. Together, we can create a world that thrives on kindness and compassion, fulfilling Jesus' call for us to be the salt of the earth. Let's take this message to heart and spread our flavor far and wide. As we contemplate the idea of being the salt of the earth, it's equally important to consider the dangers of losing our flavor, what happens when we become disconnected from our purpose and values. Jesus warned us about this, saying that if salt loses its taste, it becomes worthless. This powerful metaphor serves as a reflection on our lives today. Imagine a great chef preparing a gourmet meal. They carefully select each ingredient, using only the best spices and seasonings to create an unforgettable dish. But what if, instead of adding flavor, the chef mistakenly used old, tasteless salt? The meal would lack excitement and delight, it would simply fall flat. This is similar to how we can feel when we lose our sense of purpose or drift away from what truly matters. Many people today grapple with feelings of disconnection, whether it's from their passions, their communities, or even themselves. Perhaps you felt this way too, overwhelmed by the demands of life or swayed by negativity. When we lose sight of our values and stop acting in ways that reflect goodness and love, we risk becoming ineffective and feeling empty inside. Let's look at an example. Think about someone who once had a passion for helping others but over time fell into a routine where they prioritize success and material gain over meaningful connections. They may climb the corporate ladder but feel increasingly isolated and unfulfilled. Without the flavor that comes from serving others and nurturing relationships, their life can begin to feel like that bland dish, missing joy and purpose. Or consider a community that once thrived on unity and support but has become fractured due to misunderstanding or indifference. When individuals stop engaging with one another or spread negativity instead of kindness, the community suffers. Just as stale salt can no longer preserve food or enhance flavors, people who disengage from their values fail to uplift those around them. So how do we avoid losing our flavor? It starts with self-reflection. Ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? Are your actions aligned with your core values? Embrace opportunities for connection, serve others, share joy, and stand up for what is right. Remember that every small act counts in preserving goodness in yourself and in your community. Seek ways to add flavor back into your life, engage with others meaningfully. Reach out with kindness, offer support to those in need, and reaffirm your commitment to living out Jesus' teachings. As we close this segment, let's commit ourselves to being vibrant salt in a world that desperately needs it. Together, let's strive not just to maintain our flavor but to enhance the lives around us through love and purpose. As we reflect on Jesus' message of being the salt of the earth, it's essential to connect this idea to the struggles we face in our modern world. Today, many of us encounter division, negativity, and despair in our daily lives, whether through social media, news reports, or within our communities. In these challenging times, Jesus' call to be salt is more relevant than ever. Picture a world where kindness seems rare and compassion feels like a distant memory. People are often quick to judge, criticize, or spread negativity, leading to a sense of isolation and frustration. This can create walls between us, making it easy to forget that we are all part of the same human family. When we witness such division, it can feel overwhelming and disheartening. But here's where the metaphor of salt comes into play. Just as salt can preserve food and enhance its flavor, we can counteract negativity with love and positivity. Think about how you can be a source of light in this darkened atmosphere. It could be as simple as offering a kind word to someone who's struggling or standing up for someone who is being unfairly judged. Let's take a moment to consider an example from our own lives. Imagine a neighborhood plagued by conflict, people arguing over differing opinions or misunderstandings. Now envision a family that decides to host a community potluck, inviting everyone to come together and share their favorite dishes. As the aroma of food fills the air, barriers begin to break down. Neighbors who once avoided each other begin to share stories and laughter over shared meals. In that moment, love and connection flourish, proving that kindness can indeed overcome division. In another instance, think about how social media often amplifies negativity. Instead of scrolling past hurtful comments or engaging in arguments, how about posting something uplifting? Share a story of hope or even something funny that made you smile today. These small acts can create ripples of positivity that inspire others to join in on spreading good vibes rather than despair. As followers of Christ, our role is not merely to observe but actively participate in making the world better by embodying the message he delivered. When faced with division and negativity, let's choose love over judgment and understanding over criticism. As we move forward from this segment, I encourage you to reflect on how you can be the salt in your own life. What steps will you take today to spread positivity in your community? Remember that each act of kindness has the power to change someone's day, and perhaps even their life. Together, let's embrace this calling and contribute to a world filled with love, connection, and hope. As we come to the final part of our exploration of what it means to be the salt of the earth, let's take a moment for some emotional reflection. Jesus calls us to embody this metaphor not merely as a title but as a way of life that can transform ourselves and those around us. But what does that truly mean for you? Think about your daily life, your routines, interactions, and the people you encounter. What does it look like for you to be salt in your unique context? Maybe it's in your workplace, where stress levels run high and motivation sometimes dips. Can you be the person who brings positivity, offering encouragement or words of support to a colleague who may be feeling overwhelmed? Now, imagine walking through your neighborhood or community. Are there individuals who could use a friendly smile or a simple greeting? Perhaps there's an elderly neighbor who often sits alone on their porch. A brief conversation or an invitation to share a cup of tea could greatly brighten their day and foster connection. Let's reflect on those moments where we have the chance to infuse our surroundings with kindness. Even the smallest gestures, like holding the door for someone or helping someone carry their groceries, can create ripples of positivity that encourage others to do the same. Each act of kindness adds flavor to our communities, making them richer and more connected. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to feel lost in our own struggles. We might forget how much power we hold in our hands. Each day presents opportunities to preserve goodness and offer love, but we must be intentional about it. When was the last time you reached out to someone just because? Sometimes, just letting someone know that you care can be the spark they need. As we contemplate being the salt of the earth, let's not overlook how this calling requires action. Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone? Is there a small act, maybe writing a note to express gratitude or volunteering your time, that you can commit to today? Embrace this powerful message from Jesus. Be the one who uplifts others in their moments of despair and spreads joy in times of sadness. Reflect on how you can make a difference right now, in your everyday life. Remember, it isn't always about grand gestures, often, it's the little things that leave lasting impressions. As we close, I urge you to carry this calling with you beyond this moment. Let's uplift each other and create communities that flourish with love and compassion. Together, as the salt of the earth, we can make a beautiful impact on the world around us. As we conclude our exploration of what it means to be the salt of the earth, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we've discussed today. Jesus' message is not just a metaphor, it is a powerful call to action. We've learned that being salt means preserving goodness in our communities, enhancing the lives of those around us with kindness, and counteracting negativity through love and compassion. In a world that often feels divided and overwhelming, we each have the opportunity to make a difference. It starts with recognizing that our actions, no matter how small, carry significant weight. Whether it's sharing a smile with a stranger or reaching out to someone who seems lonely, these simple gestures can create waves of positivity that ripple through our communities. Remember the stories we shared, the bakery that rallied support from its town, the student who invited a classmate to join him, and the countless volunteers fighting hunger. Each of these examples illustrates how individuals can step into their roles as salt, showcasing the impact of compassion and connection. You, too, have the power to be that transformative force in your own life and community. Now, I urge you to reflect on your own journey. What does it mean for you to be the salt of the earth? How can you infuse your environment with flavor and positivity? Perhaps it's time to take action. Consider setting aside a few moments each day to perform acts of kindness, whether through volunteering at a local charity, simply listening to someone in need, or even just sharing uplifting messages on social media. As followers of Christ, our calling goes beyond mere recognition. It's about actively living out these principles every day. Let's challenge ourselves to move past apathy and embrace this mission wholeheartedly. The world needs your light, your love, and your unique contributions now more than ever. In closing, let's commit to being vibrant salt in every aspect of our lives. Together, we have the potential to create communities filled with joy, hope, and connection. Remember that every small act counts. So go forth with courage, knowing that you are equipped to make a beautiful impact on those around you. Let's embrace this calling together. Be the salt that flavors life and preserves goodness in our world. Together, we can change lives, starting with our own. Thank you for joining us in this journey today. Let's carry this message into our everyday lives.